Welcome. We're back again. It's that Monday, 2 p.m. Central Time is when we record. Before I introduce the guest, I'll do a quick admin. If you're joining this stream, whether it's the live stream you're watching, the recorded version on YouTube, or the audio version on Apple and Spotify, please like, share, subscribe. We're on our road to 500 subs. All right, on 235. Like, share, subscribe, share with your friends. You know, it's Easter Sunday. You should really be friends. But if you have your own people that have enemies too, hey, I don't have control over that. You can share with them to do that for us. Like, share, subscribe. And today we'll start with your favorite Oga Kwame. He's taking a trip around the whole world. You know, this man's been living life, no worrying about Manchester United. It's like what the streets have been talking that you're now a F1, fine. That's what you spend your time watching.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Welcome back, Oga Kwame.
Thank you. It's great to be here after such a long break. I feel good.
You feel good? Okay.
Yes.
I'm happy you feel good. Then we'll go to Ola, member of the team, Liverpool, quadruple hunting. They're flying high. Must be nice where you guys are.
I don't know about this quadruple you people are talking about. We're just taking it one match at a time. Okay. I'm just adjusting my glasses because these United fans in the house, they're so far down the table I can't see them properly. I just have to put on my glasses properly. So sorry. Yeah, same to you.
Bro,
they're so far away. Like
there was no reason for that.
Oh, there's always reason for that. We're playing you guys on Tuesday. There's no friendliness here, man. We're playing you guys on Tuesday. I'm just setting the ground. I'm setting the ground, for Tuesday.
just take it easy. Take it easy. That's how I'm doing it.
At least use some Vaseline on Tuesday. That's all.
Then also next on the panel, Mr. Champions League himself, Mr. Bayern Munich, is here to open. According to him, he said he wants to open a new case, a fraud watch case on Nagelsmann.
This guy is opening the football version of EFCC against
Yep. Straight away from the comments, people is like, "What's Dyer doing on here?" Please send that man away. The way Villarreal did it. Ola chose violence. Yes, he chose violence. So straight away, we are going to dive right into the first topic. So, of course, Ucl Final Four is here. Liverpool and Villarreal is on one side of the draw, and Real Madrid and Man City. I think, in my opinion, if I'm not going on recency bias, this was one of the most entertaining set of quarterfinals Champions League I've seen in a while. Like, it was very, very entertaining. I'll say even the Liverpool Benfica that looked like it was done, right? Yeah. The second leg was still, it was edgy for a little bit for Liverpool. So, Mr. Kyle, we'll start with you. Why should we open a fraud watch on Nagelsmann? Let's do a review of the quarterfinals. Just a quick one.
Okay. I'll start with should I start with Bayern? Okay, let me start with that. Nagelsmann, that guy. That's why you should complete apprenticeship before you start a real job. Bayern last season in the middle of COVID paid 25 million for a transfer fee on a coach. That was paid for Julian Nagelsmann. I think because of the fiasco that was going on with Flick, and we thought, okay, let's get him before the other big boys got him. So I think he got the Bayern job 5 years ahead of time. So he was not prepared for what he's getting. That's the first time I'm seeing a coach playing 3-1-6 formation. 3-1-6, 3 central defenders, and 2 wing. The wing backs are your wingers. It's like, okay, Chelsea playing the back 3 and now choosing to use Ziyech and Pulisic as wing backs. That is a recipe for chaos. So all you have to do is just to sit back and counter him. Yeah, and that was what Emery did. kudos to Villarreal. Like, I don't want to spend so much time on Nagelsmann and taking away the credit from Emery. Like, Emery, fantastic job. Like, I really want to talk to Arsenal fans right now. Like, how's the English intonation going these days? Hope you are enjoying perfect English. Like, I'm not good evening. I'm not good evening. Like, you because of the English, you chased away a coach that was ahead of your level. You didn't even recognize him. That man is fire. Like, say what you want about him. He dismissed Juventus. He dismissed Bayern. Well, Nagelsmann is a fraud. Allegri is a fraud. But, he's there right now. He's in the semi-finals. And, let's see what he can do against Klopp. Even if he doesn't do anything, he has done more than enough. Like, this is Villarreal's second semi-final ever. And, he has done a very great job. Kudos to him. And the guys, too, like, there was a feeling about Nagelsmann, the immaturity about him. He was so smug when he was talking about Villarreal when we got the draw. Oh, let's just get away. Let's be done with this first leg so we can just wrap it up in the second leg. Okay, the first leg, Bayern should have lost like 6, let's say conservatively 4-0, because there were like 4 clear chances. But okay, we got lucky with that. Instead of take it, we're going to smash them when we get home. Our fans will be behind us. We were not even if we had to go by the chances we had over both legs, Villarreal should have won the match, maybe 6-2. So this wasn't like they were lucky or anything. They packed the bus. Okay, deal with it. Like, that's everybody packs the bus against us. So, and the senior players are not even feeling him anymore. Like, okay, which string tactics are we even playing? So Lewandowski, the Mullahs are already. This guy, like, you need to graduate before you start coaching by him. Well, that's the fraud. The fraud was started. It will survive this season because we cannot play fire him because of the 25 million sign-on fee. Just like you are stuck with Chelsea, stuck with Lukaku, we are stuck with him for now. So we'll give him next season again. We'll give him some transfers, maybe Mazraoui. He wants to play back three. I don't know how many big teams play back three like that, except for Chelsea. But if he wants to play back three, we'll give him what he wants. We'll give him Mazraoui as a right wing back. We'll play Alphonso Davies as a left wing back. We'll probably get Gravenberch from Ajax to replace Tolisso. Let him have a go again next season. But if he gives us this 3-1-6 nonsense next season, he's gone. And, maybe Arsenal can take him.
Arsenal just taking shots left, right, and center.
And this is not Southampton.
Good evening, Arsenal fans. Whoever this person in comments, please tell us your name behind your comments. Tell us your name. We'll come to Ola. I think your screen flipped.
Oh yeah, that was just a call entry now. Okay. So
Dyche, I got a
I'm
question. Dyche, I got a question. How much longer do you give him? Because I know for the German league, anybody wins that. So in the Champions League next year, how far does he have to go to retain your support?
Okay, the thing is, I'm not going to be too hard on him, but when you are going to lose, we don't have to win everything, but lose to a legit team. Don't lose to Villarreal, and it was. I was saying this before Hola came in. It was probably a good thing we didn't get to play Liverpool, because it would have been bad for the morale of the club. I'm just imagine what Salah and Mane will do to when Sané and Coman are marking them, man. It's going to be ugly. So I think they probably protected his virtue by keeping him away from Liverpool. He will have been destroyed. So next season, if he plays well, plays attacking football, and he loses decently to a top team, not to a Villarreal, yeah, we can probably accept that. You can lose. Klopp, all these coaches have lost. Klopp lost to Real Madrid. He lost to Real Madrid twice. Nobody is going to kill him for losing to Real Madrid. But, you just don't play like an idiot.
Someone says, Aditola Lawal says, good analysis, Dio. Your jabs are well noted. So he must be an Arsenal. Taking jabs. Okay. Our Man City correspondent, Queen Yan, has joined us. You want to say hi, Yancy?
Hi, all right. How are you?
Good. Should we just go? If you're ready, let us know. Should we just go to Man City?
Yeah, we can do.
Okay. So City were in the trenches against Atletico Madrid. Talk us through that game.
To be honest, before the game, we'd never played Atletico Madrid before. It is kind of the way City play. Teams like Atletico Madrid are the teams that we tend to struggle against. So we've seen it, this season. We've seen it this season with. So we've seen it this season with Crystal Palace, Southampton, like teams that kind of put a lot of men behind the ball.
Yeah,
we've kind of struggled against them teams. So when we got them, I was a bit worried because I thought they'd just park the bus and then counter us. The first leg, I think we played really well. We should have scored more, in my opinion. I think 1-0 is always very risky because, anyone can score from a corner. It could be an own goal. You just don't know. So I think 1-0 was very risky. So the second leg was always going to have to be more of a battle. I think City actually handled it quite well because I think 2 years ago, Man City go away to Atletico Madrid, and I think they play their normal game. And I think that allows Atletico Madrid to get back into the tie, and it allows them to score, and then it allows them to potentially, being at home, you would expect if it goes 1-1, that they are the team that go on to win it. Okay. So I think it was quite professional from City to kind of play them at their own game, be quite defensive when we had to. We didn't need to attack them. We didn't need to score. They needed to score against us. So I think we did quite well. I think City are getting better and better in the Champions League. My original prediction was that Liverpool would win it this year and City would win it next year. But I do think if we get to another final, we need to be winning it. So I think it just depends if we can get past Real Madrid. But yeah, I think we're getting a little bit more sensible in the Champions League than we have been in the past. So hopefully we can win it soon.
So Madrid tie, what are your thoughts about a Madrid tie? Because you guys have injuries right now. You've lost Walker. I don't know how long he's out for.
Yeah.
I know Diaz is coming back at some point. What are your thoughts about that tie?
Well, Ruben Diaz should be back.
Okay.
I think Kyle Walker, I know a lot of people don't really rate him, but he is key in how we play. He does save us quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I think him being out is a big miss. De Bruyne, he was actually on the bench against Liverpool and he was warming up. So it's not a muscle injury. He actually had stitches, which is good news. So he should be back for our next game, really, maybe. Okay. So if he doesn't play against Brighton, he should play against Watford. So I think he'll be okay. And then Diaz is back in training. He's obviously not match fit, but I'm sure he will play before Real Madrid. So I think squad-wise, it might only be Walker and anyone else that gets an injury out. But yeah, I don't know. Real Madrid are a weird team because last time I was like, there's no way we'll beat them at the Bernabeu. And we went and beat them at the Bernabeu. So my only concern this season is we're struggling to score goals. And it kind of I said before the Liverpool game at the weekend, I can't see who's going to score goals for City in that game. I knew De Bruyne was out. De Bruyne is one of our most clinical. And Mahrez, I knew he wouldn't start. So I was thinking, who's going to score the goals? And, we got some in the end. But, yeah, it's just we're not clinical at the moment at all. We need, 3 shots to score 1. And it's just, if we do that against Real Madrid, it's going to be a long day. That's all I can say. So we'll see.
So quick question. What's the update on Gabriel Jesus? He looked injured yesterday. So, and I think he's going to be an important player. I know you're talking about goals.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like he's caused a lot of goals, but he played well against Liverpool, but he looked very injured. He was limping off. So what's the update on him?
I'm not sure. I've not heard anything. It did look kind of like cramp. So I don't know if he had cramp or whether it was an actual injury. I'm not too sure. They haven't, from what I've heard, I've not seen anything, but hopefully it's not. I think our players, I was saying this to some Liverpool fans earlier, and I was saying that the reason why Salah is not playing how he was playing before is probably because he's played so many games, so many minutes.
Yeah.
And it gets to a certain point where physically they can't handle it. And I think last season, like, it's not an excuse, by the way, but I think by the time we got to that Champions League final last season, I think we were finished. Like, Rodri was terrible at that time. People are talking about Pep should have played Rodri. The form that Rodri was in, he should not have played. It would have been Fernandinho out of the DMs that would have played. He was knackered. Cancelo was knackered. Sterling was knackered. And it kind of got to them by the end of the season. And I think, you know, firing in all 4 competitions is good, but at the same time, it is difficult. And I think by the time you get to the end of the season, you're a bit knackered. We didn't have a big break. And then we came straight into the new season. And I just think some of our players, they just, like, there's a reason why Pep's kind of resting them now. And I think, me personally, I think yesterday, I don't know if you've spoken about it yet or if you're going to, but yesterday, I think we took a knife to a gunfight. I think we went too weak. I think Pep could have weakened the squad without weakening it to the extent that he did. But I think at the same time, I can understand if you have to choose the FA Cup or the league, you're going to pick the league. So from a Pep point of view, it makes sense. But from a fan point of view, it's kind of annoying. So, yeah, it's just one of them.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll get to FA Cup. We'll talk about that after Champions League. Let's go to Chelsea tide. Oga Kwame, you want to talk to us about that fantastic 2 legs, Chelsea and Madrid?
Bro, all I have to say is thank you, God. That's all I'm going to say. Because had Chelsea come back
oh my goodness
from that deficit, I would have had to turn off my phone and move to a remote country. But of course, as much as I like to troll them, I have to respect the way they played that game. Because I remember when I think they asked Ancelotti after the first game in London, and he was like, "Look, this is far from over. We've seen teams take a 3-0 lead into a second leg and lose it." And that is exactly what happened. Thomas Tuchel, I think he did a very good job putting some fire into the bellies of those Chelsea players. And even though they did not win, you could tell that there was no way they were leaving that stadium without giving it their all. Yep. Honestly, I almost feel bad for the way life looks for them going forward when they lose Rudiger, when they lose, I guess some other important players on their team. But
I don't feel what? I don't feel bad.
No, I mean, yeah.
Oh.
but I mean, how about this? I'm looking forward to it. I want to see
exactly. You feel what?
without but that was a great display of, and it wasn't even, of course, I mean, tactically we can tell that Reece James, Alonso, they lived in Real Madrid's half. They didn't even they didn't think twice about running forward, putting balls into the box. Marcos Alonso, by the way, I mean, the man is a born goal scoring defender, and you can tell that in that performance that the tactics took the passenger seat to the actual desire and passion that these guys played with. So well done to them. I don't wish them any more success, but hey, they might win the FA Cup, but I hope they don't. Okay,
Dario, your screen flipped. I'll talk a little bit about it. I think I have just 2 words, man: Benzema and Luka Modric. Yeah. My goodness, Luka Modric that tie. In fact, the last 2 knockout games, I think he has given what they call class act in playing midfield, all-round midfield play. Because you watch that game, right? If you watch what was happening when he was playing in the middle, he was getting overrun by Chelsea, right? The legs, Kante and Kovacic. I call them, they're like running backs, using an NFL term. Those guys, when they're on form, they run all over you. You will not even be able to get close to them. So Ancelotti then moved him to the right and pushed Valverde back into the middle. And that kind of stemmed the tide a little bit. And I think when he got to extra time, he pushed into the DM position. He was playing as a DM alongside Casemiro. And this guy was winning tackles, controlling the ball, like controlling the game, like making passes. And that pass for the first goal for was it Rodrigo?
Rodrigo, yeah.
Yes. And when you think about Luka Modric, like it's almost a shoe-in between him and Benzema. One of them is already a shoe-in for like best player, right, of the tournament. Because if you see the pass he has made like game-defining passes.
Yeah.
The one against Chelsea, the first leg, the one to Benzema against PSG, the one to like he makes all these like crazy passes. I was like, who is this guy? So for me, I'm going to give the players a lot of credit. I also think Ancelotti is a weird one, right? You can say he made some good tactical adjustments that worked out, but on the other side, he got the way we want. If you think about it very well,
Yeah.
Because if Chelsea had like clinical finishers like Liverpool, that game is dead and buried before any comeback is happening, any remontada. Like they have like Liverpool type of, that game ends 5-0 before you say you want to start coming back. By that time, your morale is gone.
Yeah.
So that's one thing where it's like you have to look at it in both ways.
Yeah.
I'll give Tuchel a lot of credit. I do think though, when the game was kind of going away from them, I don't think he managed it very well. When the game was kind of going away from them. But it's just a little bit of blame I can give him there. And lastly, before I think that also lastly, I talk about Lukaku. I saw this like what was that? Was it waiting for game 7? Like is it like what was that? Like they are looking for a goal and they didn't even bring on Lukaku. I didn't get that part. That part was like shocking.
You mean the second leg or the first leg?
Second leg.
I thought it was injured for the second leg.
He was injured. He was injured for the second leg. Yeah, he wasn't even in the squad. He was not in the squad.
Okay, because I kept seeing comments online. You know, that's what made me laugh. That is Lukaku for game 7 in like NBA type of comments. Like what? But yeah, Dio, you want to talk? You have some thoughts?
Yeah. Okay. Just a quick roundup. Man City versus Atletico. Okay, that Atletico game, especially the Simeone tactic was okay. Give Man City, keep them to 1 goal for the first 3 halves, and the last half unleash hell on them. And that was what really happened. He brought up all the devils from hellfire on them. And, you know, I'm sure Man City grew up in that last 45 minutes than they probably did in an entire season.
Yeah.
Because that was, some shithousery went on too. But, you know, that is what Atletico is. And that's what European football is. It's like you're watching a Copa. One of my friends says, like, this is like a Copa Libertadores game between Colo Colo and U Católica. Just the kind of passion you get, like, you know, you spit on someone, you kick him, you roll around. The only thing that was missing was chasing the referee after the game or chasing the referee to the street. That was, they had to, like, they grew up. And to piggyback on what Yannicka said, like, you know, City, kudos to them for holding up, and Stones, the defense, they really did well. I saw a point when Cancelo had to take one because Carrasco was beating him into the box, and you know that was looking, and he had to take one and miss the first leg of the semi-final. That's actually growing up too. That's part of what you have to deal with. And yes, kudos to City for doing that, and kudos to Atletico too. Then Chelsea Madrid. What I want to say, I give a lot of credit to Chelsea for coming back. Like, you know, they showed a lot of guts. And the only reason why Chelsea is not in the semi-final is because of the individual class of Benzema and Modric.
Yeah.
That was going to be another choke, mega choke again from Ancelotti. That has littered his career everywhere. Yeah. Okay, I can start for you. Like in 2004, he had a 4-1 lead over Deportivo. As AC Milan coach, he lost 4-0 in the return leg.
4-0.
Yeah. So before we even get to the father of them all in Istanbul, in the semi-final, he led PSV and Eindhoven 2-0 in the semi-final. He was losing then he got to Eindhoven and he lost 2-0. It was in the 88th minute that I think Ambrosini scored. That gave him a 2-1 lead. And 2 minutes to go, Koku also scored again, 3-1. If they had got 5 extra minutes that day, PSV would have beaten AC Milan after leading the first leg in 2-0. then we don't have to talk about. Of course, Ola will want us to talk about that, but we've forgotten about that. Nothing happened this time.
For sure, nothing happened.
6 minutes of madness in Istanbul too. That the records. Then leading 3-0, 3-1 first leg, and you lost it all. If not for the Alonso handball, that was 4-0 right there.
Yeah.
That's not I don't know how you can face the fans with that kind of collapse. But kudos to Benzema and Modric for doing it. Right now, Benzema is the Ballon d'Or elect at this point.
Yeah.
Even Salah has gone off the boil. Lewandowski has gone off the boil. If Man City win, I don't think there's any individual class in Man City that deserves it. So I think Benzema just has to end the season well and just collect his Ballon d'Or. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Hola.
They're 2-0 down, by the way, in La Liga to Sevilla.
They'll still win that.
Let's talk about Liverpool. Hola. The quadruple.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I just don't know what this word is. What does this quadruple mean? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I just know we're winning one match at a time, and I'll just do the review for the Benfica game. But first, I'll just quickly say a piece about the Atletico, the result, not the result, the reaction. I think there was this Atletico official that was saying Man City came to pack the bus and they had a defensive wall. And I was like, if there's an award for the most ironic statement of the century, it's coming from an Atletico person saying people were defensive and they were spoiling the match. Like Man City. I think it's their CEO. I was like, what's this guy on about? Have you watched your team recently? Have you seen what Atletico do every year in, year out, and you're complaining? Like, I was just like, this guy is the biggest hypocrite of all time. But kudos to City, because Liverpool, we played Atletico twice this season in the Champions League. Even though we won both matches, we usually say they wrecked our heads. They wreck your head. It's not just physically. When you're playing against Atletico, it's not just physically. Mentally, they just wind you up. They make things difficult. They are complaining to the referee. They're shouting. Oh man, they're just a nasty team to play against, And I know why Simeone does it. I know why he does it in the big games, but I just think they cross the line too often. All that spitting, pulling of air. You can do shit house three without going that far. So I'm happy to see them out. Like, I wasn't supporting Man City per se, but I'm just happy to see Atletico out. Because I was just like, man, we don't need to play them again. But we played them twice this season. I don't want us to even meet them in the final. I prefer to just go and meet Man City in the final. So regarding Liverpool's game against Benfica, you guys were right. We kept it interesting because you'd have thought, okay, first leg 3-1, that's all over. But I know why Klopp also rested players for that, because at this point, what Yannicka was saying, when you're in 4 competitions, I'm not saying when you want to win 4 competitions, but when you are in 4 competitions, there's a difference. When you're in 4 competitions, you're trying to preserve legs. You're trying to preserve legs.
My liking everything, though. Please, people are trying to win the people. Liverpool fans are too superstitious. You are trying to win the quadruple. Own it. That's what you're trying to
winning.
do.
Who is trying to win it? You're trying to win every match that is in front of you. That's what Klopp will tell you. Every match in front of you is what you're trying to win. I don't know about this quadruple you're talking about. So when you're in 4 competitions, you have to preserve legs, because towards the end of the season, there are many players with too many minutes in their legs. So Salah, for example, he has played 120 minutes. That's extra time. He has played it 5 times already this year. I think it's even 6, because if we count the League Cup final, we went into extra time in the League Cup too. So at this stage, even if you're Superman, man, there's no way it will affect you. So based on that Benfica match, that's why Klopp just rested as many players as possible, because it was like, okay, it's 3-1 from the first leg, so let's just rest as many players. He rested the fullbacks. Our defense, that was the first time they all played together. That defense in that match. Shimikas.
Can you rest on Tuesday? You can just rest on Tuesday.
Yeah, we can try to rest on Tuesday. We can put
just play second team. Play the youth.
Second team. Our second team should be good enough, but I don't know. It won't rest. I'll tell you why it won't rest on Tuesday, because we have Everton on Saturday, so we prefer to rest players against Everton.
It won't be fair to us now.
And it won't be fair to us now. It won't be fair to us now. But the point I was making is this is the difference between, for me, this is the difference this season between Klopp and Pep. Because when you say, okay, you have a big squad, but I think Pep, he pushes his players more to the limits than Klopp. Look at the semi-final we played yesterday. Pep made only one change, and that change was enforced. And that's because Jesus was limping badly. That's why he made that change. I reckon if Jesus wasn't injured, he wouldn't have made any changes. And he and Klopp are the managers who are always shouting about 5 subs, we want 5 subs, we want 5 subs. But this season, you see the stats, Pep has made probably like some of the lowest amount of subs among the top clubs. You have a big squad, use it. So that's why people won't have sympathy for you when you start saying your players are tired, they're getting injury. You have a big squad, they're not maximizing. That's what Klopp has changed this season. Klopp used to do that before. Klopp wouldn't make too many subs before. But this season, well, thankfully, we have had a fit squad. When you have a fit squad, use it. And that's what he did against Benfica. He used the fit squad. He put as many even though we are saying second team players, but they're not really, many of them are like top class players too. You're putting Firmino. Okay, we know Firmino is probably our second choice attacker now, but you use your squad because you want to rotate and give as many players rest as possible. And we just managed to get away with it. We managed to get away with it because Benfica played well. They exploited our defense because they knew that defense, they're not played together before. So they exploited it. We went 3-1 up, but then they came back into it. And they could have gone 4-3 up, even in the last minute. And that would have really been interesting. So he had to gamble. It was a gamble. He rested so many players. He gambled, but it worked. Because the first leg helped us to do that. Because if we had not won that first leg 3-1, I'm not sure we would have gambled that much. And that also helped us yesterday because we managed to put out a strong team yesterday. So for me, at this point, it's all about taking a bit of gamble here and there, resting some players. Because when you are playing this many matches, there's no way. You're playing at high intensity. Klopp will not want you to go into a match and just coast through the match. He wants those players running like 100 miles per hour, sprint. You can't expect a player to maintain that throughout the whole season. They're always going to get tired. So I'm happy that gamble paid off against Benfica, and now we get to have a good evening against Villarreal.
Okay.
Yeah, but what I would say is this: credit to Benfica, but you can't compare the intensity and the mental drain playing a team like Atletico compared to like a Benfica. Like Atletico are just pests, and they drain everything out of you. Like you want to go home and just go on a vacation after playing Atletico.
I know, that's what I was saying. That they wreck your head. That's what we in British slang you say they wreck your head. They're wrecking your head because it's not just physical. They drain you. I understand. But even at that, I still felt Klopp and Pep should have made some changes yesterday. You had De Bruyne on the bench. He was warming up, like Yannicka said. De Bruyne was there. You had some other players on the bench. You can't tell me you can't throw on 2 players to try and freshen things up and win the match. He didn't make any changes.
Yeah, but okay.
Because he doesn't make changes. I think with Pep, like, obviously, De Bruyne getting injured was a big thing. Because if De Bruyne doesn't get injured, he probably starts De Bruyne against Liverpool, which I think changes everything.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think he would have started him anyway. I don't think so.
Yeah, he wouldn't have started him. But my point is,
I don't know. Pep is a weird one. We've seen him play Wickham at home and start De Bruyne. It's weird, but
but okay. When you're losing 3-0 at halftime to Liverpool, do you want to gamble De Bruyne and get him injured again?
They got into 3-1 in 46 minutes.
I agree with De Bruyne not coming on. De Bruyne shouldn't have come on. The FA Cup is not that important in the grand scheme of things that you would risk De Bruyne for an FA Cup that you may or may not.
Three goals down.
Different because there's a trophy at stake, but just to get to a final against Chelsea because we knew it was going to be Chelsea. There's no way. But I think for me, he went too weak. The reason why Liverpool played Alisson, we should have played Ederson. Stefan has been the reason why we've gone out 3 years in a row now. So he's not a bad keeper, but he's not good enough to play against the Liverpool. You know what I mean? Look at Liverpool's front three, how clinical they are. You need the best keeper you can have. There's a reason why Chelsea played Mendy and Liverpool played Alisson. There's a reason for that. And Pep is the only one that went with his second keeper. I would even understand it more the other way around, because City aren't that clinical this season. So if Liverpool went with their backup keeper, that would make more sense than it did for us to go with our backup keeper. And then if you are, like, obviously, I know players are tired. Rodri has been key for us this season. We don't want to wear him out. But at the same time, if you're not going to play De Bruyne, which we couldn't play De Bruyne, then you have to play Rodri or Gundogan. Apparently, Gundogan got a knock, so he couldn't play. So if them two are out, you have no choice but to play Rodri. You would have been better off playing Rodri and then giving him a rest against Brighton and playing De Bruyne and playing, Gundogan when he comes back. So I think he went too weak. We had no midfield in that game. There was no midfield. I didn't see a City midfield anyway. And we were just it was just bypassing the midfield completely. So I think, I'm not saying we would have won the game, but I think just Ederson and Rodri, them two players, change how that game. We definitely don't go in 3-0 down at halftime. I can tell you that. We haven't been 3-0 down at halftime since we played Liverpool in the Champions League.
2018.
And that's at Anfield, where we're not great at Anfield. So, yeah, there's no way we go in 3-0 down, I think, even with just Ederson on the pitch. So I just think he went too weak. And 3-0, once you go 3-0 down, it's game over. Like, it's not, if you're playing a smaller team, maybe you can get back.
But you guys, sorry, you guys keep saying 3-0, but it was 3-1 on 46 minutes. 46 minutes, it was 3-1. So it was just two goals in it. And I just feel generally he doesn't use his subs well enough. Look at the game against Crystal Palace when you guys, it was goalless. And he didn't make any change in that match. He didn't make any change in the Crystal Palace. When you were chasing a win, he didn't even make any changes. And he had a solid bench. So this is not just based on Liverpool, yesterday, Liverpool winning. It's just a general trend I see. And at the end of the day, it catches up. My point is it catches up with the players because you've run them into the ground, because you're making them play 90 minutes. I'm not saying, don't start your strongest team, but you're making them play 90 minutes of games they don't need to play 90 minutes. Like what Klopp has learned this season and last season. Klopp now, sometimes what he does with Henderson and Fabinho, sometimes he'll let Henderson play 60 minutes in a match and put Fabinho off for 30 minutes. Or you rotate it the other way around in the next match. So they're not playing 90 minutes all the time. Because there's no way you can be in 4 competitions and it won't catch up. If these players are playing 90 minutes every match, they'll be, like you said, in the final against Chelsea in the Champions League. That's what happened to you guys. Your players were burnt out by the time you got to the final because they played so many 90-minute matches. So I just think he has to improve on that, seriously, because these players, they're asking them to press. They're pressing at high intensity. Oh, my God. It's tough. It's tough. Running 90 minutes at high intensity.
You know
what? Oh,
wow. All our fan base are saying what you're saying. Pep could have gone further in every competition this season had he made subs where he needs to make subs. Like, there's been games where we're not winning. We need a goal. And our highest goal scorer in Mahrez is on the bench till the 85th, 90th minute. You can't bring players on and expect them to change the game in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Give them half an hour. Give them 25 minutes. Give them enough time to warm into the game and then see what they can do. But he hasn't done that. The other thing that Pep does, which winds me up, I love Pep, but it winds me up, when he will start a very weakened team, and then he has to bring on everyone. Like, do it the other way around. Play your strongest squad. Go 2-0 up. Then take them off. And hope that your second squad can hold on to that 2-0. Do you know what I mean? Why go 2-0 down? And then you're expecting De Bruyne to come on and score a hat-trick. Like, it's not fair on the players. Do it the other way around. Let De Bruyne start. De Bruyne gets 2 goals. Bring him on. Like, I don't get it. He does things the wrong way around sometimes. But I think he's a genius, so I don't think he can think normally. I think that's the problem.
Let me ask you a question. What are you guys prioritizing now? Out of Champions League and League? Or is both of them the same?
I think he is definitely prioritizing the Premier League over the FA Cup. You can tell by the team that he started. He's resting these players for Brighton. So he definitely is prioritizing the Prem. I think the position that we're in, it's very risky to go for the Champions League only because if we do that and Liverpool win a treble, they could potentially win a quadruple. So it's not, I'd rather win the league and then see what happens in the Champions League than not win the league and then hope that we can beat Liverpool in the final. Because I think the confidence they would get from winning the league would push them over the edge in the final. So I think if they win the league, the FA Cup, and they'll win the Champions League final, they will. So yeah, I think definitely the league.
And that'll be the end of football. That'll be the end of football. Football will be completed, and I won't watch football anymore.
I'm gone. See you later. I don't know what is the offside rule. Don't know. Yeah, like that can't happen.
I'll take all of summer. My location. I'll remove my location.
I know, innit. Man United actually finished. City fans will be annoyed. But United are finished. Like it's finished for you. Treble, the whole 20 times, all of that is gone. Like, nah, man. And
we're banking on
in the champion, that United.
If Liverpool wins the treble or quadruple, I'm just gonna start watching baseball.
We're banking on magic for us. Tuchel will do the magic for us. Tommy, tap it.
Well, you better beat them in the league, then, innit? If you beat Liverpool in the league, that helps City.
No.
That's what we can do, innit? But I don't know. I don't trust City right now because we're not clinical enough. So I don't trust us. If we were clinical,
win the league,
then I'd say we're going to win it. I don't know. We should win it. We should.
You guys are going to win all your games from now to the season. City win the league. Even if it's 1-0, 2-1, Pep is going to get on that field. People are definitely going to win all their games. Season. So you guys are going to win. The Champions League is where, like you said, I think you guys are going to slip up, in my personal opinion. I don't think there's any
players' heads are definitely on the Champions League. Like, I think you can even tell the way we play in the Champions League is different to how we play in the league. Like, I know obviously against Atletico we didn't score too many goals and stuff like that, but I just feel like we're a lot better in the Champions League, like defensively and going forward. So I think the players definitely have their eyes on the Champions League. But if you win the league, I think it helps you to then win the Champions League. So I think win one and then go for the other. But obviously, I don't know. It could end badly. So this season, before the season started, I predicted us to go trophyless. But the way that this season's going, we better win something. Because let me explain myself. The reason why was I thought we wouldn't win 5 Carabao Cups in a row because that's a bit ridiculous. I thought we'd go out of that eventually after 5 years, which we did. I didn't expect us to win the FA Cup because our record in the FA Cup is not too good. And we kind of get to this stage of the season and then lose. That's just the way it goes. And then in terms of the league, I did buy into the Chelsea hype that everyone was saying they're going to win the league. And I thought maybe they're going to win the league because with City, it's always harder to retain a title than it is to win it the first time. So because we won it last year, I was thinking we probably won't win it back to back. So that's why I thought it might be Chelsea. And then what's the other? Champions League, I had Liverpool to win it this year. So that's why City, I thought we could go trophyless. But now that the league's going the way it's going, we have to win the league. Like, it's a failure if we don't. It really is. So we'll see.
Rafi says, big up the crew. Thanks. I said that. Ola, any quick thoughts, addition to that, or we should just move on quickly to next topic?
For the FA Cup review or for Champions League?
FA Cup.
Oh, FA Cup. Oh, no, yeah. So the FA Cup, I just felt, for me, Liverpool did what we had to do. And because if you're playing weekend City team, in quotes, weekend City team, if you're playing a weekend City team, the idea is to get as many goals as possible before they bring on their big guns. So that's what I was scared of yesterday. I was like, man, we need to really smash these guys before they bring on the big guns. Little did I know they wouldn't even bring on the big guns. Okay, they brought on Mahrez, and look at what Mahrez did. Mahrez even set up a goal. For me, Mahrez is supposed to be, that's Man City's player of the season so far, apart from De Bruyne. Because Mahrez has 22 goals or something like that. And he came on as a sub and set up the second goal for them. So when we went 3-0 up, my fear was I hope they don't score an early goal in the second half, and they did exactly that. They scored an early goal in the second half, and well, it was a bit comfortable because they didn't create as many chances as I thought they would. But psychologically, you just keep thinking City are dangerous enough to carve up 2 good chances, and I just felt if Salah was in form, we probably would have finished off that game earlier. If Salah was, his normal self, because he had 2 good chances, he had some plays that he should have squared the pass. It's not in form. It's just not in form. He's tired. You can see he's tired, but Klopp is trying to play him back into form. So he keeps giving him stats like, okay, you just need 1 goal to get going. But this guy has played too much football. He has played too much football. And against United, I will put Salah on the bench. Against United, I won't start Salah. If I was Klopp, I wouldn't start Salah. He's not.
If my fantasy captain, please, he has to start.
Sorry, I have bad news for you. I put him on the bench.
He's going
in my fantasy team.
He's going to start.
Sorry?
I agree with Ola on Salah not starting.
No,
you shouldn't be
in my fantasy team. In my fantasy team.
That's what you need to do.
You don't have to waste good players on United.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to waste good players. Give them a Benfica team. Give them a Benfica team. It will be okay.
Question for Jan. Ravi is asking you a question. If should KDB have started on Saturday?
Nah. The thing is, with De Bruyne, it's one of them where he's already a bit injury prone. He's got an injury. I feel like the team, he could have put out a strong enough team without De Bruyne that could have given Liverpool more of a game. But he didn't do that. So, yeah, I think in terms of priority, we need De Bruyne against Real Madrid. That's going to be the games that we need him more. And then obviously in the Prem. So, yeah, I think if he can save De Bruyne till Real Madrid, that's brilliant. I don't think he'll be able to because we're not scoring enough. He'll probably need him against Brighton and Watford. But if we can kind of save him for Madrid next week, then great. But yeah, I think he'll be playing before that, unfortunately.
That's a segue.
Well, it's not a one-off game. It's 2 legs. I think in a one-off game is where we struggle. 2 legs. Can we do it? We already have. Can we do it this season? Who knows? I don't know if we're scoring enough. We're kind of relying on De Bruyne to be De Bruyne. If he isn't, then we go out. It's just the way it is.
And please, guys, don't write off Villarreal because people are thinking Liverpool will just walk over them. Unai Emery beat Klopp in the final of the Europa League like a few years ago, and this Villarreal team, they've been knocking out teams, big teams, left, right, and center. I know Ayo is rolling his eyes and saying superstitious Liverpool fan. I'm just telling you, this is Unai Emery in Europe, man. Unai Emery in Europe. It's a different beast.
Good job.
He said when they're 4-0 up in the first quarter of the game.
Doing A for good work. You've done well. This is his bus stop. He's going home.
And the honeymoon period.
Moreno's out as well, isn't it? He's like their best player. He's out for 4 months, so they're out.
Wow!
Yeah, apparently he's out for a while. So
Gerard Moreno.
He got injured yesterday.
Yeah.
He got injured.
Oh wow!
Let's move on so that we don't spend too much time. Yeah, let's move on to where we have Ogakwame. Erik Ten Hag agreement in principle. Initial reaction, Ogakwame. The people want to know.
Well, it's not official, right? This is just a verbal agreement in principle, all that. Okay.
Correct.
Well, my first reaction is I was right. When we sacked Ollie, and I said that I wanted a bald manager. This my wish has been granted because look, when Sarah retired, since then all our managers they've had hair. David Moyes, he had hair, didn't work. Louis van Gaal, he had hair, didn't work. Jose Mourinho, he had beautiful hair, did not work. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he had hair, did not work. So I need a bald coach, and I wanted either Ten Hag or Zidane. Zidane was never going to happen. His wife did not let him take the job. even though we offered to give him a new wife, he still said no. So Erik ten Hag it is. But on a more serious note, this is something we should have done 3 years ago. Remember, that was the plan. 3 years ago, when Oli came, the plan was he's only going to be there to see out the season. Our search for a permanent manager continues.
Yep.
Nothing will be announced until the season is over. 25% of the project was done, and they announced him as the permanent manager. And we'll see where that got us. So the right decision, we should have. Well, I guess we're correcting the wrong decision we made 3 years ago. So which means the project is at least 3 years late. The biggest worry I had when we were talking about Ten Hag initially after Solskjaer got fired was whether he would be able, first, whether Ajax would release him, and turns out that, they're cool with it. Secondly is whether the ecosystem in which Ten Hag succeeded, can we have that kind of ecosystem at Manchester United? I hear he's bringing his assistant coach, so that's kind of good news. I hear he's a very detail-oriented person. I hear he actually reads his contracts by himself and combs through details, asks important questions, all that stuff. That detail is what is needed of a good coach. The problem I still have is I don't want Darren Fletcher and what's that one's name?
John Murtagh.
No, the one I don't even know what his title is. The ones that sits there with the iPad.
John Murtagh?
Not John Murtagh. The one that sits next to Darren Fletcher. He was on the
Mike Phelan.
Mike Phelan. Bro, I don't know. I don't want that to be what.
But he's bald. He's bald. He's a bald coach. He's a bald coach.
No. I want the guy on top to be bald. Right. So I'm just hoping that the support system that Ten Hag needs, I hope that is available.
Yeah.
And this might sound crazy coming from me, but I hope people actually do keep the same energy with Oli in terms of, with the kind of energy they gave Oli, give it to Ten Hag, because he's gonna need time. Ten Hag is coming to do pretty much it's a bone marrow transplant that is needed at Manchester United, because it's a change of an entire system. And because of that, what I keep saying that when you're building a house, when you're renovating, destroying a house and building it back up, when you're destroying a house and you don't put expensive French doors, right, at the entrance, $25,000 French doors. You don't do that. That's what we have at Manchester United right now. We need players who can do farm work. I don't want a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini at my club when I need to do farm work, when I need to do actual construction work. So I think it's the right appointment. I hope he actually comes, and for me, I think the on-field, the football changes are secondary to the system changes. I need Ten Hag to come and make the leadership, executive leadership at Manchester United, and understand that, look, just giving out contracts just because you want to maximize the value on players and not have to move people on, that is not the way to run a football club in modern day. The squad needs to be recycled. The squad needs refreshing. There is no reason to keep renewing people's contracts 2-3 times. That's dumb. And I think that's the bigger change that is needed. The on-field changes will come just because that's what coaches do. But the system changes. I think they need to come into effect within the first year. I saw Bucci's comment talking about Chris Armas. I hear that. Yes, Ragnick. But remember, Ragnick hadn't coached. He hadn't coached for about 2 years before he came. So which means he didn't have those people at the ready. He had to go get Chris Armas out of where did Chris Armas come from? I don't remember.
Some American team like that.
Yeah. So he had to like these are, and he also brought a sports psychologist. Like these are not people that he had already worked with, you know, in recent history. So
I think he mentioned Chris Amas in response to when you were talking about the bad guy that sits down. He thought you were talking about Chris Amas.
No. I was talking about Phelan. Those are the ones I don't want to see. I don't want to see Phelan. I don't want to see Fletcher.
So what's wrong with Fletcher? So that's the next question. What's wrong with Fletcher?
Well, what is wrong with Fletcher is this.
Quick answer.
Fletcher represents, okay. Well, Fletcher represents this notion that, you know, the DNA is always better, or that the United way is always better, and that's the problem. The Manchester United has always we've always made it seem like, oh, if we've not vetted you before, if we don't know you, if you've not worked with us, we don't really put value. We don't really put value on you like that. So that's the problem with Fletcher. And bro, Fletcher is technical what, director or something? Mm-hmm. What experience does he have to have that title? You know, when 8 months before he was coaching children at Manchester United, and now all of a sudden he's technical director. That's what's wrong with him.
Okay. So this is my own quick reaction. Before we go to that, let me just take one question. Is this a real question? It's like, question: will Big Boy Benz roll through City with his big boy Vinny? I think it's a show/question. Jan, do you want to answer that? He said, with Big Boy Vinny, Big Boy Benz roll through City with his
long day, man. Long day. Long day. I got time for him.
You know this person? This Ravi Beccari?
He's a United fan, I think.
Okay. Question from a Liverpool fan: how does the like of Elliot, Jones, and Martin fit into the squad? I feel like this is a very long question. Why for it?
No, I'll answer it very quickly. Okay. They don't fit into the squad. Not at the moment. Okay. No, sorry. They don't fit into the squad, and they're young. They're young. That time will come, so they don't fit into the squad at the moment. They're not even getting on the bench at the moment. We have players like Origi who is struggling to make the bench. So those guys are not getting. Jones maybe gets a few minutes here and there, but Elliot and Martin are young. They are not fitting in the squad at the moment. The squad is too good at the moment to fit in the likes of these young lads.
Must be nice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice.
That's what I said. Quick question: do you think Ronaldo should stay or go next season? You want to answer that?
I think Ronaldo should leave because the project that needs to be done at United, it's not something Ronaldo suited for. Again, like I say, he is too good to be part of a demolition and rebuilding project, right? This man has better things to do in life than to sit there in Manchester and watch them do construction work. He has trophies to win. He still has, he still wants his armpits to go up. He wants his arms to go up. He will never get that at Manchester United. So that's why I think he should leave. I think he should leave, not because I think he's the problem, because it's definitely not the problem. He's just a fact. He's just a big figure that looms large over this project that will take at least 5 years.
And for wages, just to add to that, for wages.
And for wages too, exactly.
Yeah, the wages are too much.
Same thing with Pogba too. I want him him as well to leave, just because it's they don't fit within this surgery that needs to be done.
Okay, let me
just a quick. Okay, yeah.
Oh, quick
no, it's all right. No, yeah. Just to back up what I am, just quickly to back up what Oga Kwame was saying. Yeah, there's sometimes where you have big personalities looming, and you need to reconstruct. Yes, that you have to let them go. I'll give you an example of Liverpool when we had Kenny Dalglish. He's a legend for us. He was a manager. He won the League Cup in 2012 and still got fired because we needed a clean break from, we needed to move forward. We needed to just let his presence is so, but we still brought him back. We brought him back as he's still on board of directors, but we just had to let him go as a manager because his presence is so big. Even though he won a trophy that season, our league place was not good. So when you are trying to reconstruct, it's true, you have to make a break from the past. And in Ronaldo's case, let him just go to PSG and win the French league. Let him just complete the set of leagues he wants to win. Go to PSG, take the money there. He has done a good job at United. But I just think if you are trying to reconstruct, like you guys really need to do, yes, you have to move him on.
Yeah.
I agree. And my quick reaction to Erik ten Hag is, I don't want to belabor all the points you said. I agree with all of that. It means he needs time. I think my own is always about what is upstairs. We still need the director of football. That's the game changer, I think, so that there can be a clear joined up thinking upstairs all the way down to the manager. I also think, and I think I posted that on our Facebook group, is I hope, like, that's the only when I see a director of football that's going to give him powers, not like, oh, Ragnick consultant and he's going to work 6 times a week, like a real director of football, like they were talking about Paul Mitchell, and he's going to give him powers, and there can be a clear joined up thinking. That's when I'll know, okay, finally they've learned their lesson to understand that we should stop making managers the machine, right? Like, managers should be a cog in the machine. All the successful clubs, that's what they do. They should not be the machine itself. It's not going to work. We keep trying to do that, and I hope they've seen that finally and do that. I have not too much problem with Fletcher in my case. I just think Fletcher should be there, not as a technical director. He could be a technical director, like they have Peter Cech in Chelsea, but there should be more people, more experience that he's learning from, and he can learn the ropes. I'm fine with him learning, but not the main person. He shouldn't be the main person. He should be learning the ropes for like way more experienced people. I don't really care for John Murtagh. I know some people say he's like, because he's been there since 2014. When he came with Moyes, he was head of academy, and he was there for sure the last 1 year that when they made the decision. So he was part of the failure of the last 1 year.
Yeah.
So should have been, in my opinion, should have been let go after Europa. They backed it. The second chance, when we started really badly, there was an opportunity to get a world-class manager in Conte and try and save the season and see, like, maybe they can make small tweaks and see if they can make a run over the next year. They didn't get him. They did that. Then they went and got Ragnick, and they made everybody think, oh, we have this long-term plan, and everybody fell hook, line, sinker, and I was one of the, I was excited, but I wanted to see if they were going to give him real power. They immediately, the results started dwindling. They started leaking information that is based on him getting top 4. That's when they give him power upstairs. That's one of the dumbest, in my opinion, thing that anybody can put out as an organization. So you are telling me you have hired somebody who's known for building structures. What is most known for the last 10 years is building structures. And you say, oh, come on, be a temporary manager. He agrees to do it. That's on him. He comes, and you're not saying you're going to judge him, what he does temporary, to know what he knows upstairs. That's very dumb. And that's why I don't have any faith in Murtagh, because Murtagh was the one that article was on the Athletic, how they said they've been tracking Ragnick for 2 years, and they made all this big deal. And all of a sudden now, the new report is actually just going to be a consultant. They sidelined him. They didn't ask him his opinion when they hired Ten Hag. They didn't ask him his opinion. He was not part of the process. It wasn't part of the process.
And even this consultancy they're talking about, I heard the consultancy will involve him, putting maybe 4 hours a week.
Correct. Yeah. He works 6 times a month or something like that. That's what came out, 6 times a month. So for me, that clearly tells me Murtagh doesn't really know what he's doing. That's my opinion. This last one year showed me this guy doesn't really know what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just dancing to a puppet string from somewhere. So in my opinion, I wish Ten Hag got the best. I hope they can be patient with him, and he has this all-encompassing figure, maybe a club. Even though club had a lot of people, above him doing work, but somebody is charisma, because that's what we're going to need for this thing to work. Apart from being tactical, he has to be someone that is charismatic, so that during the building process, upstairs they will trust him. The players playing for him, when they hit a bad patch, they will still trust him because this guy has something extra apart from understanding tactics. Because if he doesn't have that, I don't know, this could go sideways. That's my quick opinion about Ten Hag. Ola, any quick thoughts in addition?
Oh, no. I think it's a good appointment, but yeah, you guys need a structure in place. You just nailed it, because even with Liverpool, Klopp, for us, we love him forevermore. But we have a structure in place. Even before he came, we had a structure in place. That's why I was saying when we sacked Kenny Dalglish, they put a structure in place, and the scouting, the recruitment, it was in place. So what Klopp does is it takes advice from some of these guys. Like, okay, give me a list of targets, and because that structure is in place, it helps you. Because at the end of the day, like you say, the manager is just a cog in the machine. So when that cog is removed, you can plug in another cog, and the machine is still moving. Now, it's not like you find many Klopps in the world, or you find many Ten Hags or many, but it's just that you look for a profile of manager that can fit into that machine cog, so that things will run smoothly when the time comes. So I agree. I think it's, for me, the biggest problem would be Ajax is a different ballgame from Man United. All these coaches, it's like in a boxing fight, like Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get it in the face. These people that are coming to Man United, I know they are coming to Man United thinking, okay, we can come and fix the problems very easily. But man, when they get in that ring, that boxing ring of Man United, and they get it in the face, it's how they stand up to that punch. That's what will show whether they can truly stand the test of time, because Man United job is a different ball game, and seriously, the pressure is intense.
Yeah. It's a cursed job. It's a cursed job. It's like the job of the England manager. Anybody who even if on some crazy planet Klopp becomes the manager of United with Pep as assistant manager, like they still probably will fail in their first 2-3 years, just because the club itself is just something just comes with Manchester United. And something I just want to touch a little bit about the structure again. I was reading something in the Athletic about how Joe Glazer, he made a lot of this. I mean, of course, he's the owner. I mean, his family owns the club, but he's so involved in day-to-day running of the club, and he, especially when it comes to like bringing in names into the club, he's a fan of big names. Apparently, he likes bringing in players he's heard about. So Ronaldo, so I feel like he does that. That needs to change, really, because that's part of what goes into rebuilding a new structure. You can't have an owner sitting in Tampa or Miami or wherever he lives talking about, ooh, I like this guy's name. Bring it. We can't have that.
I agree.
Okay. I'll just chime in about the China thing. Well, what I would just say is, there's a difference between coaching a small club and coaching a big club, and of course, we have several examples. Nagelsmann is finding out. Right now,
I knew that's where he was going.
Nagelsmann is finding out, like, okay, the things that we do at Leipzig, and you have Upamecano playing like an idiot at Leipzig. You can't have that, So all those things, more scrutiny will be on you. And it's a big club, and big clubs have their peculiarities. The fortunate thing about club is that when it got Liverpool was at the point whereby they were a big team, but they had they failed so much that they've swallowed all their hells and like, okay, we surrender to you. Do whatever you want with us. We have no idea. We are ready to listen to you. I'm not sure Man U has gotten to that point yet, because you've not gotten to that level of humility ready to take that. And he's gonna struggle. But there's always a point for coaching influence, coaching input. You see Conte at Spurs. You can see that there's something different about Spurs right now. You can bring that, but it's also easier to do at a smaller club than at a bigger club. Like, you can't just go to, how many coaches have succeeded and got to Real Madrid and they were chewed out and spattered, like, this guy didn't know what he was talking about. Yeah. That is what Ten Hag has to deal with. The part that you are talking about, Joe Glazer, that's part of what comes with a big club. At Bayern Munich, we have our players go to the president directly to report the coach that I don't like what this guy is doing. I can't play these tactics, like, so that you have to deal with that. That player will be going over your head. The president will come. If you watch Bayern series, Salihamidzic sits beside the coach on the bench. Our sporting director sits beside the coach. So they will argue out, okay, what tactics? Why do you want to sub this guy out? The president wants to see this guy. Lewandowski, you pull out Lewandowski before 70th minute. You have to report to someone because his agent is calling you. Why are you taking out Lewandowski? Next thing you start hearing, oh, Real Madrid is interested in Lewandowski now. So those are some of
It's as if that has worked at the football club before.
Yeah, that's it. Like that. That's why they call us FC Hollywood, because the drama on the playing pitch, the drama in the dressing room is bigger than on the playing pitch. They will go like when Sane was struggling, and the coach was about to bench him. Uliones invited Sane to his villa. Like, I spent a lot of money on you. No coach is going to bench you. That coach would rather go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. Like, I'm not going to spend 100 million on a player and the coach decides, he wants to play an academy player over him. No. There's a commercial part of it too that you have to fulfill. There's a sponsor part of it. Sponsors want to see certain players. Okay. Greenwood might be getting you a result, but sponsors are paying for Pogba to be on the field, for Ronaldo to be on the field. So you now want to bench Ronaldo because, Greenwood fits your tactics better. Then change your tactics to fit Ronaldo.
That's a fair point.
Those are the pressures of working in a big club. That's why I said managing. Yeah, that's why I said managing United is a different ballgame. So I'm not saying Ten Hag is a bad manager. I just mean managing a club at United comes with certain pressures, just like Dyer just said. That's my worry for him.
Okay, that's a good. Let's go quickly to the last topic before we go to Sean Dyche was sacked. That was the big news that happened. I'll quick my quick reaction. My reaction was I was shocked, especially because this group that took over, I think in 2020, this consortium, MLK, they went on and they left that statement. I think his legacy is, I know they're in relegation zone, I understand that. When you see his legacy, this man in like 9-10 years has been there, 6 years consecutively has kept them up with a shoestring budget, and that is incredible. It's kept it up for 6 consecutive of the shoestring budget. They had one of the lowest net spend since 2017. Their net spend till now is like 20 million, 21 million since 2017. That's incredible. And I think he probably is one of their, if not their greatest manager of all time. When you think about it, he took them to Europe in 2018. I hope people didn't forget that. They made Europa Cup in 20. Burnley as a town have like just maybe 90,000 people. Apparently, there's like the whole Burnley town. I read it, they can fill up the whole Wembley. Like Wembley Stadium can contain the whole of Burnley.
Oh, wow.
That's
the city is that small?
Yes, that's small. And I think a lot of people underrated the work he was doing there. Because even when they went to the championship twice under him, the first time they went, they came second. Then the second time they went, he won outrightly. And came back like immediately. So I think I was shocked. I think his legacy will be Burnley's greatest manager of all time and one of the greatest managers for like struggling teams and overperforming consistently. And now that he has kind of come to the level of the squad because he has overperformed, he's a victim of his success. That's my opinion. Anyway, anybody else?
I think they should. Well, I think maybe they just hit the panic button, and I think maybe these new owners, because they have not been that long in charge, maybe they've not appreciated his body of work for over a long period. Because I just don't see why you're pulling the trigger now. This guy has been in this position more than a couple of times, and he has gotten out of it. Because Burnley, they're usually dancing around that relegation area side, and there's still games to be won. I just feel a bit sorry for him because it's like karma came back for him so quickly. He was just boasting about the Everton match. I told them Everton don't know how to win. And the next week he's gone. My guy has been fired. It's like, this football is just crazy like that. I just think that's what just came back to bite him because I don't think he was doing very bad. I think they still had a chance to stay up. Did they win today? I'm not sure. I think they
drew 1-1.
1-1 draw.
They drew 1-1. Yeah, they drew 1-1. So that doesn't help because Everton are still like, unfortunately, Everton are still ahead of them like 4 points or 3 points. So I would have loved for them to stay up ahead of Everton, but I don't think that will happen now. I think Sean Dyche, he represented in a way the typical British manager of passion. Let's just play. We are men. In a way, I didn't like that part of his character, but I respected his managerial achievements because, like I said, this guy has overachieved. He has barely had any amount of money to spend, and he has kept them up for so long. He has overachieved in that way. And the league will miss him and his gravelly, deep husky voice. We'll miss him. But I'm sure there'll be a team that will just take him next season. There'll be a Premier League team. I reckon he'll be back by next season. Somebody will panic and give him a job. So hopefully we'll see him back.
I actually think 10 years, and he's led them to what, 2 promotions, led them to the Championship, then to the Premier League. I think this it was a dumb decision. And right now, actually, I think they've lost their best chance of staying in the league. I think now they're definitely going down. Before they fired him, Lampard could have still gone down. But now Burnley's they're definitely going down. And as much as I do not like Sean Dyche, I do not like his voice. I don't like his attitude. I don't like the way he plays football. I just do not like anything. Of course, I don't know him personally, but I don't like anything about him as a football figure. But he didn't deserve that. I mean, in a way, they were like 2022 Stoke City, right? That physical long ball into the box, all that stuff. But hey, I mean, he's Burnley will not. They'll know the gravity of this decision they made within the next year or two. Because when they go down, it's going to take them a long time to come back up.
Correct. I agree. Dio, any final thoughts about John Dyche?
No, not really. I don't follow him that much.
This guy.
What's the equivalent? Sorry, quick question, Dio. What's the equivalent of Burnley in Bundesliga? Is there is there a team that plays like Burnley in Bundesliga?
Union Berlin.
Oh.
Union Berlin.
Yeah, Union Berlin.
Okay.
That's what it is.
They're from East Germany. Are they not from East Germany?
They're from Berlin, but they're from the whole East Germany. But the funny thing about Union Berlin is they are like the blue collar team of Berlin, and Hertha is the rich version of Berlin.
Oh, okay.
Hertha got a billionaire to invest in them. They've pumped like 400 million into them, and they are in the relegation zones right now. And Union Berlin that barely got any money is mid-table. So
wow.
Yeah, Hertha got money. They gave it to Klinsmann. Klinsmann wasted like half of it. Yeah, they gave money to everybody, and they were just wasting the money, And they are now in relegation waters, about to go. So, but Bundesliga is kind of funny right now. All the traditional clubs are going to Division 2. We have Hamburg, we have Werder Bremen, we have Schalke 04. Schalke 04 that thought they were going to be part of what was that team thing? They were Super League. Yeah. They were trying to be part of the Super League like 7 years ago. They are
more like Super League 2.
Super League
2. So let's go to Kudos and Donkey of the week. Quickly to end, I'll say mine. My first kudos goes to Brighton. I know they've been struggling for a while, but just since we are doing for the week, right? They beat Arsenal and Tottenham and blew open the North London. I guess North London race for top 4 and race for top 4 as a whole. In fact, like 5 days they beat Spurs, so they get my kudos for that. My other kudos goes to Villarreal and Unai Emery for making Champions League semi-final, which is incredible, by beating big Bayern Munich. Fraud watch case on I thought I have to give one to Cristiano, right? He's on dragging United.
Yeah.
Make us relevant, even though we know we United fans we're not in top forest, but it's kind of making people believe that we are in. So we have to give him credit for that, at least for this week.
At least they will have something else to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Donkey of the week. My first Donkey of the week goes to, of course, we talked about it earlier, but I have to give Donkey of the week, Nagelsmann, for just being Nagelsmann, and just being cocky about everything. My next Donkey of the week goes to and then my next Donkey of the week goes to let me think of that actually. I'll come back to that.
Let's do kudos first then.
Okay, good. So,
I have Kudos and Donkey. I have them ready.
Okay.
No, let me give mine. My Donkey of the week, Super Donkey of the month, Julian Nagelsmann.
Come on. Come on.
The month is not even over.
Yeah. My kudos of the week goes to Philip Kostic and the Eintracht Frankfurt crew for the demolition they did in Nou Camp.
Yes.
To the city of Barcelona, to the region of Catalonia, to Nou Camp. Because I need to ask, like, we need to talk about how the 50,000 fans or 60,000 fans travel from Germany to Spain. Exactly. There were like 30,000 fans in the stadium. Another 30,000 fans in the bars nearby. Like, that's even a security. I don't even know how they were.
How did they even get past COVID rules?
Yeah.
Well, let's even forget about COVID. How did they fly? How did they drive buses? 60,000 people. If every bus is filling 600 people, that means you need 1,000 buses to cover it. They filled up the stadium, and everybody in Barcelona.
I'll tell you, it's football, the passion for football. I'll tell you why. This question you're asking. People were saying about yesterday at Wembley. Do you know there was a problem with the rail and transporting? They were fixing rails. So this was happened 2 weeks ago. They said, oh, if you are coming to Wembley, Liverpool fans and Manchester City fans, there was no way they could have gotten to Wembley yesterday. So even the FA had to give 1,000 buses or 100 buses free to get fans. But that's not even enough. So most of those fans that you saw in the stadium yesterday must have, it's either they have arrived in London 2 days earlier, or maybe they flew, because that's football. Football fans will do anything to get to a match. They will do anything. So even in England, honestly, it's amazing.
Laporta, Xavi, everybody in Barcelona was there. Like, how can we be outnumbered in our home stadium? Like,
yeah.
Like that's the official reason for their exit, for Barcelona's exit. Like, they just took over the whole stadium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Who's going next?
Okay, kudos. Yeah, well, yeah. Ronaldo for me, yes. 30 hat-tricks before age 30. 30 hat-tricks after age 30. Shit, man. Seriously, I know it was Norwich. Yeah, it's Norwich, but still, man, we have to give him kudos for that. Kudos also, to Samuel Chukwueze, that goal. And I like how he enjoyed it. It was good to see his post-match interview. You could even see him dancing in the dressing room.
Yeah.
I think because we've seen so much of football, we sometimes lose the sense of that magic of appreciating that kind of magic. For him, he will never forget, even if he doesn't score any goal in his career again, he will never forget that he scored a goal to knock out Bayern Munich. And the post-match interview, you could see this guy so excited. And I'm just happy to see a Nigerian doing well, even though, of course, he's not a regular starter in their team. So kudos to Chukwueze. Got them into the semi-final with that goal. Donkey of the week for me, the portion of Manchester City fans who were booing when there was supposed to be a minute of silence for the 97 Liverpool fans that died. And they started booing during the minute of silence, and the referee had to cut short the minute of silence. He had to just cut off and just quickly blow the whistle for the match to start. And it was so bad that even the BBC had to talk about it. And then Manchester City, as a club, put out a statement condemning their own fans for that during the match. They had to quickly respond because they knew this is bad optics. Yeah. This was not one fan, this is not two fans, this were thousands of Manchester City fans who couldn't keep quiet for 1 minute just to observe a minute of silence. I think the banter era of football, it's leading to this kind of things happening regularly. And forgive me, I know this is going to happen. If we have a minute of silence against United on Tuesday, this is likely to happen. And it's not only limited to opposition fans, Liverpool fans do it too. So I'm not just saying it's just opposition fans. Liverpool fans, they do all that Munich aeroplane gestures. Yeah. This era of banter, I think people just cross the line into the area of insensitivity. They just think, oh, this is banter. We're just banter. How can you be bantering when people are saying just observe a minute of silence for dead people that died tragically, and you can't do that? So for me, those are donkeys of the week. I'm not saying it's all Manchester City fans. Obviously, it's not all of them, but there was a big portion of them yesterday booing, and for their own club to come out straight away, even before the match ended, they quickly put out a statement and said, "We condemn these fans. This is not cool." I just hope we as football fans, we should try to educate ourselves that there's banter and there's just been acting like a dickhead, basically. Exactly. There's banter and there should be a line. There should be a line. There's some things that you should not banter about, especially when it comes to death of people that died tragically. So those are my donkeys of the week.
Okay, I got comment.
Kudos. I was going to say Villarreal and Chukwueze. We're talking about that. I also Bruno Guimaraes, that from Newcastle today. He scored his first goal for the club. Well, first and second, and just the pure emotion on his face after the game. It like when he scored the second goal, he rejoiced like the world was about to end. And then VAR was looking, and when the ref confirmed the goal, like his celebration was even more than before the VAR check. So I'm just happy for him. I really hope he does well, especially given his background. Donkey of the week, I would like to give that to Burnley. Honestly, I think that was a dickhead move over there. And second donkey of the week actually goes to Manchester United and the British media. I say this because was it 2-3 weeks ago, Harry Maguire got booed by English fans, and what did we see? We saw the entire British media. We saw high-profile figures. We saw Manchester United come out to defend Harry Maguire. Oh, you can't boo him. He's contributed a lot. Yeah. Captain of Manchester United. All that stuff. Every single person came to his defense. Paul Pogba yesterday, after he was subbed, got booed by Manchester United fans in his own stadium. I've not heard anything from anyone since then. Nothing from Gary Neville, nothing from Jamie Carragher, nothing from Rio Ferdinand, nothing from the club itself, nothing from the FA about, don't boo your own player. So again, that's just why I think fans have a right to boo, honestly. You can boo players without, you cannot regulate fan behavior, when they get to the stadium, right? even if we just expect them to be at their best behavior. The things they can regulate, of course, are things that are outrightly illegal. It's not illegal to boo anyone, and I'm not saying the fans are donkeys. It is the reaction afterwards, or the lack of reaction after that I'm giving the donkey award to. So yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. Before we go, I think I remember my final donkey goes to Manchester United fullbacks. Telles and Dalot, trash. Dalot is okay. It's below average. We can manage for next season as a below average guy coming some games. Telles is trash. That's my final comment.
You said Telles is trash?
Alex Telles is trash. All he does that is cross. He's a good cross out the ball in corner kicks. That's it. But everything else is trash.
But do you agree that he at least does that? He's at least a better option to Luke Shaw?
Absolutely not.
Can I add a donkey? Can I just the donkey? This just I'm piggybacking a bit of Ogakwame's one. The media, like you're saying, the media and their reporting of various incidents. I'll start first of all with the booing of Maguire. Joe Gomez, he got attacked by Ryan Sterling before an England match. He got scratched in the face. He had the scar. Joe Gomez played for England in the next match. Joe Gomez got booed for getting attacked by Ryan Sterling. We didn't see all these players. We didn't see the media. We didn't see all these people shouting, "Oh, why would you boo Joe Gomez now?" They didn't say anything because, of course, optics. Harry Maguire, we know what we're talking about. Harry Maguire is of a different breed. So we have to all gather around him and say, "Oh, yeah. Why you boo him? Joe Gomez happened to him." And also the optics of Ronaldo smashed the kid's phone. Nobody's saying, "Oh, let's put him in jail," because the boy even had a big he had like his hand swole. There was the mark on the back of his hand, and he's an autistic child. Kurt Zuma kicked the cat. They told him, they said, we're going to end your career. We should withdraw his contract because he kicked the cat. So, but we did not hear they should cancel Ronaldo's contract. The media were not telling us that. People were not jumping on Sky News to say, "Oh, this is worse than this is worse than that." So that's what I mean, that I'm agreeing with Ogakwame that the media, they have a responsibility of the way they handle some of these stories. And they might say that we're always overreaching, but we see these things as Black people. We see these things happening. We see it. we see we're not overreaching. These are prime examples of incidents that have happened recently, and the coverage is different.
Yeah,
people are not jumping on camera to give their 2 cents about somebody doing this, but then next minute something happens to somebody else and they're jumping on camera to give their 2 cents, and then it's blown and everybody's jumping. We see these different media narratives, and for that, media, they're donkeys for this week. Absolutely. And donkeys maybe forevermore.
On that note, at an hour and a half, we end the pod. If you got to this point, please like, share, subscribe on all our platforms. Most importantly, YouTube, Road to 500, Footy Fantasy, FWTOTIE, link in description. Oga Kwame, Ola, Mr. Dyer, thank you guys for coming on, and have a lovely rest of your Sunday.
All right. See you guys.
Take care.
All right. Cheers. Bye.